All right, everyone. Welcome once again. It is Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for Manufacturing E-Commerce Success. I am one of your co-hosts in this show, Damon Pistolka. That pretty gentleman right over there is Kurt Anderson, co-host, stylish hair. Take it away, my friend, because we're going to be talking about finding your voice and humanizing your brand today.
Damon, happy Friday, dude. How's your week? You doing all right? Everything good?
Doing all right.
Alma Mater won a national championship. You got a new coach. You're looking for a new coach for the Seahawks, but yeah,
I know.
everything's
a lot
going
of stuff
good,
happening.
Right?
A lot of stuff happening.
All right, man. I hope, Damon, are you sitting down? Are you ready for this one? This is like
Gonna be fun.
All right. This is like I doubled up on my heart medicine for this one. So all right, here we go. Eddie Saunders Jr. is on stage. Eddie, happy Friday. Happy New Year. How are you, dude?
Man, I'm living it up, rock and rolling, always growing, never slowing, and I'm hanging out with some cool dudes on a Friday. I already have a cold beverage, so like, what more do I want, man?
All right. Well, hey, God bless you, dude. Thank you for coming back on the show. You are a repeat offender, I must add, so you might want to get a better judge of character of who to hang out with. But thank you for coming back to join the show once again. We've done a few things together. So, guys, if you're out there, drop us a note, give Eddie a big hello. Boy, if you don't know Eddie, I strongly encourage you. I invite you. I welcome you. I implore you. Connect with Eddie on LinkedIn. You'll thank us later. He puts out incredible, wonderful content, very passionate advocate for manufacturers. Eddie, since last time you were on the program, you've a little change in life, a little about face, right? Little change of career. We're going to dive into that. Before we go there, Damon, I don't know if you remember last time Eddie was on the show. I opened up with, Eddie, who was your hero when you grew up? And your response was your dad, and you rant and raved about how wonderful and amazing your father was. And Damon, we've done the show a couple of times, several hundred times. Dumbest comment on my part of all time. I go, Eddie, what's your dad's name? Eddie Saunders Jr., what is your dad's name? And I will never forget that. So, Eddie, thank you for your patience. So I'm not going to ask you who your hero is today. I have a different question for you. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I asked you last time, who was your hero growing up? I'm going to ask you today, who are you a hero to? Who out there views Eddie Saunders Jr. as their hero?
Whoa.
The questions get tougher.
Yeah, that's I felt that one in my spine.
No doubt.
Man, well, honestly, I hope my kids, because honestly, being in my early 30s, just learning a lot, so much to learn. You know, I've got a lot of life ahead of me, hopefully, but I've got a decent amount of life behind me. Yeah. And having 4 children now, you know, from the ages of 3 to 12, I'd like to say that I'm trying to leave a good legacy. And then through that, I kind of have this weird dream one day of just being that guy to my kids. Maybe I am, I don't know. But the constant daily pursuit of that is what kind of keeps me humble and then drives me just to be the best version of that who I am, even though I'm not perfect. But I would hope my kids would say that for sure.
Well, awesome answer. Absolutely. Damon, how about that? What'd you think of that one, huh?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've pulled that out once before, and I thought, you know what? I'm busting that out on Eddie. Now, Eddie, wonderful. You and your wife been together for many years. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you guys had where you got married in your backyard, or where did you get married at? I don't remember.
We actually got married in Kansas City.
You got married in Kansas City. Now, where did you propose at?
I proposed in the middle of the Block O in the Ohio Stadium, right on the 50-yard line on my 24th birthday.
Now, all right, Eddie, for anybody out there who doesn't know what we're talking about, I brought something. How's this?
You know I came prepared for this, baby. I got the Buckeyes out right now. Let's go. OH!
Eddie proposed right here's Block O right there. Right there.
Right there in the middle of the Block O.
So there's Ohio Stadium. So Eddie, I brought this out just for you, my friend. So it's and I got that for you too. So we had a Damon. Sorry, we had to go there. You know,
I had it on deck. I was ready to. That's the same page, bro.
We had to go. So anyway, so I was trying to find that. I was trying to find that stadium last time you were on the show. I brought it out just for today. So all right, let's get all that out of the way. Now let's dive in. Eddie, please share with folks. You have a new wonderful adventure. I'm going to use the word venture and adventure. You have a new company. Please talk about your new company and how are you making the world a better place?
Well, I'm doing my best for sure. So, but knowing that, left the whole corporate job, did the kind of, it's somewhat of a cliche thing, but it's the reason you see it. It's time tested, it's exciting, and started my own consultancy, if you will, in the form of me doing really a lot of it is that I want to do. I've got a little mantra that I've been running with lately that has really been kind of my fight song, and it's my entire business plan and intention is to do kind of what I want when I want, and with whom I want, and do very little of what I hate. And this platform has allowed me essentially to do just that, and to make that leap where a lot of other individuals are super hesitant and they wait. But I can say that, betting on yourself and believing yourself, it's been a wonderful opportunity. And I've been able to connect with way more manufacturers from around the globe and give myself a good opportunity to really do the work that I knew I always wanted to do and could do well, but not have all of this overhead on top of me and these suppressing forces in nature not allowing me to do these things. So it's great. I get to guide these clients from small startups all the way to corporate, global conglomerates on their marketing strategy, their content development, and running their entire demand gen vision casting. It's stuff that I love to do, and I'm working with all types of cool people that I want to. And I'm honestly excited to see where it goes.
Well, so let's go here. I didn't have this question down, but you kind of stirred the pot for this question. Anybody out there that is inspired they're like, man, you took that entrepreneurial leap. There's a lot of folks that are in corporate, have those jobs. You need that steady paycheck. There's obligations, bills to pay, mortgage, you have 4 kids. That's a huge, huge leap of faith to take that entrepreneurial plunge. Mm-hmm. What was there a tipping point? What finally inspired you to take that plunge?
I mean, first it was putting myself in the position to, if something did happen, God forbid, but that would be a landing platform for myself. Mm-hmm. So having a plan, because I didn't want to act like this was something that, okay, I just woke up one day and said, this is what I'm doing. I'm opening up shop tomorrow. No, this is something that I had not only done on a very segmented basis years prior to, just dabbled in it, but I felt led and put myself in that position that I knew if the universe lands and the dominoes fall in this specific place, will I be able to sustain this? And honestly, I just allowed it to be a reality. And I kind of reverse engineered the reality. And when said universe entered and presented said situation, I was just ready for it. I didn't force it. I wasn't really forced into a position to do it either. So that was really helpful as well. But being prepared and knowing that I've already done what it is that I'm trying to do. And I knew I was going to learn along the way, but keeping my head in the clouds and feet on the ground was just huge with the planning and with just keeping myself humble throughout the entire time, but having that roadmap laid. So when the adventure presented itself, I was already out of my bag packed,
Man, I already had my bag packed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That might drop the mic. Drop the mic.
Mic drop moment.
Drop the mic right
had
there.
The bags packed.
Reverse engineering opportunities. Absolutely love that. You had the bags packed. Were there certain clients, or just kind of like you said, the forces kind of pulled you that direction? There was opportunities here. How'd that conversation go at home? Like, walk us through that transition.
Yeah, because it's obviously a lot of conversation with your spouse or significant other, because it wasn't just one of those where, okay, I'm going to remove myself from a W-2 income. It was that's being removed. That's all on me. But then healthcare and insurance, because I really don't like the way that it's structured for small business owners. And a lot of other small business owners would complain the same way. It's not fair. There's a few good ways to go about it. And that was honestly a huge thing that held me back for the longest time, is because you got to think covering a family of 6, if you will. I'm not going to digress too much, but that's expensive regardless. Healthcare.gov is not going to help you with that. So, and it was a great thing for my wife and I as well, because we better connected, because there was a lot of trust that was already there and that foundation was there. But she also knew with confidence that Eddie has been planning this for months, and some people would argue years with what he's done. And she's just my biggest cheerleader. She's my biggest critic, but she's also my biggest cheerleader. And it really allowed me to propel the way that I wanted to, because I know there's so many factors that would convince people to not, and talk people out of doing it every single day.
Well, absolutely love it, boy. And there's so much to uncover right there. We're going to slide it because I want to dig into your superpowers. But having that support system at home, that significant other that's there rooting you on, being that the critic, not always just telling you what you want to hear. And so I just love that trust and that level of expectation on each other, and being mindful like, hey, we're a family of 6. Like if this doesn't work out, what's Plan B? And so I love everything that you've done here. Super inspiring.
I like the idea though. I mean, at least you were doing the same thing before you walked home one day and told your significant other, I really want to do this. Right. So you're kind of doing the same thing, but you're doing it for different people. So yeah. Some of us aren't that, we go off a little farther, and it's a bit of a more longer stretch for our significant others. So that's good.
Oh yeah. It wasn't easy. She's definitely nervous, for sure. Nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Some would say still nervous, maybe not as much anymore. Cause I'm like, see, babe, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Well, I'll love it.
So tomorrow, I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah. She can text us, let us know. But all right, let's dive in. So Speak Friend Consulting. Talk about like when somebody knocks on your door, what does that engagement look like? What are the specific things on your menu? How are you helping companies just crush it?
Well, in all reality, man, you have to think. I got someone, at least me, if you will, if we're thinking inventory, I got 14 years of B2B marketing experience and business development. I've read over 50 books on human decision making, marketing, branding, all the stuff. I've been to the conferences, I've spoken, I've done all the private sessions. I'm just in such a good position to help a lot of individuals. So whether it's, again, that small startup who this is marketing hire, quote unquote, number one, or we're corporate conglomerate, we've got a huge budget, global hubs, and we need a cross-level strategy for not only this specific sector, but for everywhere. I just have that experience working as an employee of that startup and as an employee all the way from there to the corporate large 11,000 plus employee Fortune 500, yada, yada. So when you have that much experience, it's hard to find a situation where, and especially industrial brands can't leverage that in some way, shape, or form, because there's just too much diversity in what I do. Of course, I have a wide breadth of skills, and there are things that I'm better at than others, but that's just a lot of experience for people to not be able to leverage in some way, shape, or form.
And then something Kurt and I talk about a lot is because of your work in the industry, in the B2B industrial industry, knowing as many players in it as you do in marketing and other aspects of the business. It's really something that, I'm sure you're bringing the smartest people to the room, even when it's not you. And that's the thing that's really fun is to those collaborations that you can do with others that do the 1 + 1 = 3 for those clients.
That's huge. And it's like the Henry Ford concept to me. And that goes back to a very short story where Henry Ford had lots of critics, obviously. And one time a whole press conference was put together because one of his worst critics wanted to absolutely grill him. So he gathered all these biggest experts in the world to just grill Henry Ford, ask him questions about this, and this. And Henry Ford dismissed it completely, saying this is absolutely irrelevant. If I want the best engineer in the world, I hit one number on my phone and I have him. If I want the best attorney in the world, I hit one number and I have them. That to me changed my entire perspective, and I'm surrounding myself with the smartest. Love your point.
Something we were just talking about, right, Kurt?
We were just talking, and you know what? I'm a huge Henry Ford fan. I love that story. He was on this on the stand in court when he did that. It was a really intense. It was a very intense moment, and I love that. You know what? I'm going to jump ahead. I'm saving this question for later. I'm going to pull it in right now since we're there. You are the king of that collaboration, referral, and what you've taught me since day one. And I've had the honor and privilege doing several things with you now. You have that buddy system that I just absolutely love. I was going to save that question for later. Let's dive in now. Share with folks a little bit about how the power of the Eddie Saunders buddy system.
I mean, it's the same idea of if you're out at night with your friends, or you're going swimming. It's just the kind of that buddy system that they always teach us. Why? Because it increases safety, it increases your strength, your confidence. And the same idea can be applied not only just in industrial marketing, because other industries are doing it. I'm just bringing a proven concept to an industry that needs it the most. And we've proven it on so many examples to where if we're taken from a specific example, I want to run a Google Ads campaign. I'm actually doing this with a client right now. They want to run a Google Ads campaign, but they know they want a specific amount of reach and a specific amount of budget. Well, they have some options to either eat that budget themselves and take all the labor and the effort themselves, or bring in one or various other partners that can not only split those resources when it comes to budget, but can also provide value in the form of copy, in the form of just general thought into it. And it just increases everything across the board and reduces the spend, reduces the effort, but then increases that engagement between all parties. And it's the classic concept of the rising tide lifts all ships. This just helps you spend less and maximize those efforts and work with people that are worth making noise with in the first place.
Right. I love that. So go ahead, Damon.
Oh, I like that. Working with people that are worth making noise with.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, that's the key.
That's the thing. And you kind of said it yourself. Like you never need to be the smartest guy in the room, but boy, you look like a really smart person when you bring those other smart people into the room.
Yeah.
So, all right, you're talking, I'm going a little bit out of order. So we've got the Eddie Saunders buddy branding system. I absolutely love that. And boy, if you're a solo marketer out there, you're working for manufacturers, first off, connect with Eddie. Connect with Eddie on LinkedIn, follow his content. He is brilliant, funny, wonderful, engaging, puts out all sorts of great strategies. So follow Eddie there, check out his website. And so Eddie, you talk about the buddy branding system. You also talk about the search engine SWOT. I love this concept. So many manufacturers, like say they bend metal, they cut steel. So the keywords they're going to go after are we bend metal, we cut steel. They're very, very broad. I love your approach of that SWOT analysis. Let's dive into what you're best at. Let's geek out. Let's the three of us geek out on that for a little bit. Explain to folks, what is the SWOT, the search engine SWOT? Explain that for us.
So yeah, SWOT, like a lot of individuals are familiar with the acronym, the SWOT analysis: your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We do it for every other sector of the business. So why is our marketing, or why are any other components of that an exception to that rule? Like, why is that? And if you're putting effort into any type of optimization, just because search engines, we recognize people are using them, there's objective data that is tied not only to how they use it, but how you can manipulate and how you can actually have a presence on those specific pages. And so why would you not look at the strengths of how you're showing and what's being represented there, your weaknesses, recognize those opportunities and the threats? Again, I want to reiterate, we do it with all other segments of our business. We audit finance, we audit operations, we audit everything else. Why do we not audit our current marketing programs? And I think the lack of that in the industrial world has led to the last 10, 15, some would say even 20 years of very similar and repetitive marketing practices and tactics that aren't really as efficient, because no one's really actually looking at, one, the bottom line, but two, the productivity and the return on these specific items, because it's the way we've always done it.
The death nail in business.
Precisely.
It just makes me want to throw up every time I hear it.
Right.
And I should practice that, because that would be good, wouldn't it?
Right.
If you just,
it'd be so
when
great.
someone says just, "Blah," that would be awesome.
Hey, a couple comments.
Yeah, we got some comments. We got to get them up here. We got Mark going on.
Hey, Mark, happy Friday, dude. Thanks for stopping by.
There. Then we got Quincy.
Hey, Quincy, happy Friday. Working with
people.
Love it.
Making noise with. Good stuff. Good stuff.
So, couple good strategies. I want to take it one step further. So, Eddie, manufacturer out there, they're like, man, we're the best kept secret. People aren't finding us. They're not coming up online. We're not coming up in search or pay-per-click. How like digging in, Damon, you do this with your clients. We've gone through this dozens of times. How do you help people niche that down? So we focus on our strengths, maybe kind of eliminate, get those weaknesses out of the way, right? Let's stay away from those. How do you marry those strengths and opportunities, whether your content, search strategies? How about, can we go there for a minute? What's that look like from your perspective?
Sure. And one thing that I love working with my clients is, and you've heard me say this earlier in this conversation, because it's a mantra of mine, it's reverse engineering with intention. Yeah. Because we could put the 10 of the most needy brands right now they all stinking need somebody like me right now. And they're going to be completely different conversations. And in a world where I love agency work, there's good things here, but I'm also noticing that people are being put in boxes. I don't believe there's a silver bullet for everyone, and there's a box that you can put a bunch of people in, and I'm very much a proponent of kind of building the box around them. So not to not answer your question by any means, but I hate these gurus, and sorry, that's a strong word. I dislike, and I don't really agree with these gurus and these self-proclaimed experts who say all these things and regurgitate this information that's not simply true, or it's hollow at best. So I challenge that there is no real silver bullet. There are a variety of strategies and tactics that I have that, depending on your situation, I can help you win. That's not questioned, because I've done it in a variety of scenarios. But I would be setting you up to fail if I just decided to pick you up and put you into a box and say, hey, this box will work for you. That's not what you want.
Right. Well, I love it. So, all right, we're going to slide into, you are speaking at the Industrial Marketing Summit. You and I met in person at the last Industrial Marketing Summit, and that was such an honor, thrill for me. Just wonderful people that we got to hang out with. Joe Sullivan, Jeff Long, Wendy Covey, Nicole Donnelly was there. I mean, it was just such a wonderful, wonderful event. We were in Cleveland. That was in 2022, and I caught your session, dude. I was just completely blown away. You know, I know you're a humble guy. Damon, I'll talk to you. Like, Eddie, plug your ears. The wisdom, the brilliance, the maturity, just off the charts. I'm like, gosh, I wish I had a fraction of what this guy has when I was your age. How do you get that stage presence? How do you get, like, dude, I'm just so in awe, and I'm saying this just with tremendous admiration to you. You know, how do you get that stage presence, and how do you bring out that energy on stage?
Well, I really appreciate you saying that. And human to human, I just want to say thank you, because that's very kind of you. And that means the absolute world to me. So let me say that first. And then, as I attempt to try to answer the question, because I'm absolutely flattered. Easy enough. I've been in theater my whole life. I mean, my earliest memories are me on stage doing little cutie contests, which are beauty contests for boys and stuff, whatever, just doing these things, and have been in theater on a stage performing. I'm a musician. And so I've just performed in that realm so many times. And I've legit been a cartoon since I was a kid, like, for lack of a better term. And I'm human. Like, I still have, like, my days. I still have energy drains and this and that. But a lot of the stage presence has come from a lot of confidence, years, like my whole life of being on stage. And it just feels really comforting to me. I still feel the same gut nerves and everything like everybody else does. But I don't care about looking silly, because I've done that many times.
Right. Yeah. We got some people here too that are showing up quick.
Hey, we've got people that have been on the show. So Diana was on the show, Damon. And so Diana is in Chicago. She's going to be at the summit with Jacqueline from IMEC. And we've got, we've got another alumni from our show here, Sammy. Happy New Year, Sammy. I haven't touched base with you yet. So
Sammy's a gangster.
Sammy is the best. So Sammy, it looks like Sammy's going to be at the summit. I get to meet Sammy in person.
It's going to be awesome.
She's a good human. I like her.
This is going to be awesome. So, you know what? I'm going to put, Damon, I'm going to share my screen, and let's see. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I want to pull up the summit. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've got going on.
Very good.
And can you guys see my screen?
Yep, got it.
Okay. Eddie, let's take a look here. So I've got if anybody's not familiar, we're talking about the Industrial Marketing Summit. Man, it is coming up in just a couple weeks. It's in Austin, Texas. Boy, if you're up north in Chile like the rest of us, great opportunity to head down south and go geek out with a bunch of industrial marketers. The folks that are hosting the party are right here. They were just on our show a few weeks ago. We've got Joe Sullivan, Adam Beck, and of course, Wendy Covey. And so let's go down here. Let's head down to you guys. I've got you right here. Mr. Eddie, please talk about, what are we going to be talking about at your session?
As you see here, we're going to help people find their voice, humanize their brand, and stand out in a sea of user-generated content. Now, not to read off the screen specifically, but you've got some individuals here, 4 individuals that have really built themselves up very organically, and not overnight, but also not by accident. And they've done it with their human elements. Now, representing either one or multiple entities, regardless of that fact, these human beings have turned up their volume and have seen subjective as well as objective results. And as far as I'm concerned, I know that I'm just going to be bringing that small playbook to help you and more brands realize the power behind the humans that are within their organizations, and things to not be afraid of, things to empower, things to make sure that you're aware of, but also things to be excited about.
Yeah, it really is. I tell you that what you guys are going to be talking about there is so important for industrial and B2B brands to really consider us. Who the heck are we? Because the CNC manufacturing company down the street from the other one, from the they're not the same. They're not the same. And who are we? What are we about? And really letting that human voice out. So who we are, being authentic and doing the human to human thing is so much better than the product vomit or we have these machines that can do that kind of junk that just makes everyone want to run the other way.
Right. Well, I love it. And of course, we Chris Lukey, Damon, he's going to be on the show 2 weeks from today. So we're got Chris Lukey's coming up, and we're going to be geeking out about the conference as well. Nikki has been been on the show before. Jordan's going to be coming up in a few weeks on the show. And so, Eddie, we're super excited. Morgan's been on our show. She's going to be talking about building and measuring brand authority. We've got John Joyce. We've got Timothy Scanlon. And just scrolling down, it's just all sorts of wonderful speakers.
Yeah.
They've got the co-founder of Jasper. That was a home run. I know the team, when they were on the show a few weeks ago, they were super excited
about that. Yeah.
All the speakers. But of course, they were really excited to land this gentleman from Jasper. And again, we've got Wendy, Joe, and Adam. They're going to be talking about some different things. So guys, check out Industrial Marketing Summit. Go to the website. If you're on the cusp or you're on the bubble, man, I couldn't encourage you enough to go. Eddie, all the cool kids are going to be there. Are they not?
For sure. And even outside of, the cool kids being there, which is definitely a perk, we have to think about as an industrial marketer, some of those topics, or actually all those topics, are absolute barn burner topics. Like, these are huge things. And this isn't something like I talked about earlier, where a lot of people are getting stuck in that the way we've always done it. This is the forefront. This is the next level of conversation, the next level of thought leadership, of vision. And if you are looking to stay ahead and not be like a good chunk of our industry, you have to embrace this information. You have to be able to digest in some way, shape, or form. It's going to be loaded.
It's going to be loaded. And I tell you, probably didn't appreciate it as much from COVID till today, but just that in-person interaction and just getting out there and shaking hands and just, the friendships and relationships that we've been able to build virtually thanks to COVID has been phenomenal. Now it's a true gift to take that to the next level and meet people in person and high fives and hugs and all that stuff. And just, and again, it's feel that energy in the room, Eddie, again, like Wendy Covey and Morgan, like when they're on stage, man, it's just, those guys are blockbusters. And just, knock around ideas and just the off-hour conversations and what have you. What are some things that you're really excited, looking forward to being at the summit?
Of course, obviously being a part of the panel, that's great. That's of course the big reason that I'm there. But I'm a human guy. I love being around other people that are like-minded, as a lot of us do. And I'm more excited about learning and about listening and hearing everybody else. Like, my session, like, I'm gonna blank and it's gonna be over, and it's at the end of the day as well. So like, I'm kind of pumped to get to be inspired all day and then get to my last speaking slot and just be like, I love everything.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I'm just going to feel so inspired. And so that's the biggest thing. The human beings there, and learning outside perspectives from individuals who are just as passionate about this as I am.
Right. Well, I love that. So I want to go here now. So on your website, you talk about adventurous marketing strategies. So you're great at like high level strategic on high level strategy. Again, guys, if you're just joining us, we're here with Eddie Saunders Jr. You absolutely want to connect with Eddie on LinkedIn. Does all sorts of great content. You're helping all sorts of different manufacturers, and just love what you're doing. Adventurous marketing strategies. Most manufacturers, as we well know, a little bit on the conservative side. Maybe they have no marketing at all. Let's talk to the manufacturer that's just starting kind of this marketing journey, let alone digital marketing. What are some baby steps that you would advise them, coach them? How could you get them a little bit adventurous to kind of kick off their digital marketing transformation?
Sure. I mean, in a world or in an industry where a lot of traditional methods are done, you got to be at the trade shows. You got to do the white papers. You got to do the gated content, stuff like that. I understand, but to me, especially as you're starting off, we do need to make a significant amount of noise because people have to figure out who you are first before they figure out what you do and all these other things. Now, mind you, that happens organically over time. But if we're talking about what can we do right now, content development, one, it's always a lower hanging fruit, and it's always going to be worth it, especially if you partner with a good person who helps you scale it and make it easier, right? And that's the biggest value that I do bring because I have clients, that are very scrappy, very startup worthy, and I've been there and I respect that, and you can easily work with that. But kind of the lowest hanging fruit without giving away the whole farm, if you will, in a good demand generation package and focus strategy is going to be developing content in a lot of forms so that it can be digested, consumed, and seen by a lot of individuals. And another reason, because there's lots of data can be built into these platforms. So it's also good to do things with intention, knowing that there's data behind it. So you're not just doing feel good decisions, you have data driven decisions.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, we'll man, I know you're super busy. We'll start winding down here in a minute, but let's get tactical. Manufacturers just starting out, and let's say they're a custom contract manufacturer. Let's get a little tactical. What are some steps? So you've gone through some high level strategy with a client. Now we're going to get into the weeds. Now we're going to start executing. What are some of the and I love what you said earlier, not one size fits all. But what are some tactics? What are some steps that you would help to get them on the playing field so they can kind of get their feet wet into this transformation?
Sure. Yeah. So if you're growing and you're scaling and you've got like a set budget and you're trying to formulate a couple of things, that you want to invest something in there. It's always great because I love data, and you'll hear that trend throughout a lot of the strategies that I'm talking about. But I do love search engine marketing. Like I love Google Ads. It's always a great thing because that it's going to be delivered. There's a variety of different things that you can do when it comes to setting up specific campaigns, and as well as doing social ads. They're just great because you can also drive them not only back to your website, but if you also have specific landing pages that you're setting up for any lead generation, it's just good to be able to not only collect traffic, but also direct traffic. Everyone gets involved in the collection, but what about the direction? Because you've now created demand, you've captured it, but how are we going to convert it? And that's why I'm shifting the industrial marketing conversation to demand focused in the form of creating, capturing, converting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so critical to do that, to not only just throw a bunch of ads out there, but intentionally know the customer journey. Where are we taking them? Why is it important to them? And what's the next step after that? And being clear too, because a lot of people will do that and then it kind of goes to a dead spot. It's like, hey, come to our website and learn about us. It's like, okay, why should I? They're just not, as Kurt would say, niching down enough to really get the right people to the right spot with the right information on your websites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. I absolutely love it. Eddie, let's go here, my friend. I'm going to change gears, Damon. I'm throwing a little curveball. Okay. So we've talked about a lot. We've talked about adventurous marketing strategies. We've talked about the Industrial Marketing Summit, Austin, coming up at the end of the month. We've talked about connecting with Eddie, high-level strategies. We talked about the Buddy branding system. We've talked about your search engine SWOT strategy, all sorts of different things. Eddie, I'm going to get a little personal. Father of 4 wonderful, beautiful children. What's on the horizon? What are you excited about family-wise for 2024?
I am so excited to stop purchasing pull-ups because I have my last one, potty training. And I know you guys get that. I am right there. I am on the freaking cusp of being done with potty training after almost 13 years as a father.
Yeah.
And if we're being honest, I'm so pumped about. I'm pumped about a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But that is like the adult little victory that I got right now in my dad's life, is getting that kid to stop pooping his pants.
Yeah. That is a big moment.
Thank you. You get it.
That is a big moment, dude.
Dude, that was awesome.
I don't know if you're expecting that, but that's exactly where I'm at right now.
Great. That's great.
That was a great answer. All right, so getting on the other side of pull-ups and business-wise goals. If we want to have you back on, say you come back at the end of the year, if you were to speak to your Allison just said this last Friday. So we had Allison DeFord on last Friday, and she gave a great analogy on how you should write yourself a letter today for the end of the year, and hey, dear Kurt, dear Damon, great job this year. This is what you would like your year to look like. Eddie, if you were to write yourself a letter today for the end of the year, and you want, I want that to come as close to true as possible, what are some things that would be in that letter 12 months from today?
My letter would be almost exactly and precisely this at the end of the year. Eddie, I hope that you did what you want, when you wanted, with whom you wanted, and did the minimal amount of things that you didn't want to. With love, Eddie Saunders Jr. That would be the letter. I kid you not. Kid you not. That would be the letter. Truly. That sounds like pure bliss and pure happiness. And I feel so many individuals like got pushed into college, created a trades gap, right? I just tried to break the mold a little bit. And when I get asked about scaling and doing these things and all these huge business goals, I am no stranger to goals and ambition. No stranger to that. But I don't think that I have to do it the way that everybody else does it or tells me I have to. And I can still be happy. And my family can still be happy. And that's really all I care about.
We're just going to savor that for a minute.
Yeah, I just got to let that kind of marinate a little bit.
All right, Eddie, last question. Where do you credit? And I'm not just saying this because you're on stage here. Like, I cannot tell you how much I respect you, admire you, just love it. Where do you contribute? I know it's Eddie Saunders Sr. Man, I wish I had your brilliance at this age. Where's this coming from?
I've made it a mission to connect with as many people as possible. Sometimes to my detriment, because I just believe in the phenomena of you just don't know who can change your life. And my family, I'm surrounded by so many amazing human beings. Like my family, they're incredible. But I learned that even in a short amount of time, if I truly made it a mission to connect with as many people and to extract and provide as much value in these relationships, that it will yield great results and even better, great perspective. Because you think about it, you met your spouse one day. She was a stranger at one point. If you think about it, he or she was a stranger at some point.
Right.
Your best friend was a stranger at one point. Kurt and Damon, you two didn't even know who each other were at one point. And then one day, that connection happened by organic conversation or whatever happened. Right. And look at what stemmed from that. And if you think of all the most beautiful relationships you have in your life and all the most beautiful life lessons and the most impactful things that you've heard in your life, it's been because you heard it and you received it from someone. I'll leave you with one last thing. There's a Swahili phrase called Ubuntu, and it means I am because you are. And I believe that with the depth of my soul, that I am who I am because you are who you are.
Just let it go again.
Okay. But man, Damon,
I know. We're just sitting here speechless.
Okay. I don't know how this year is going to go because Allison blew us away last week. Eddie, you're just completely Damon, we're in for a bit.
Yes, we are.
If this is any indication of what 2024 is going to be like, man, we are in for it. I'm going to boost up my heart medicine even higher. So, all right, let's go here, guys. Strongly encourage you, welcome you, invite you, implore you, I beg you, connect with Eddie on LinkedIn. You will thank us later. Tons of great content. Eddie, real quick, you've got the Industrial Marketing Summit. Any other events that coming up? Because I know you're always on the fly. You're at events. You're broadcasting from events. Any other events that you have coming up soon?
Yeah, I'm going to be all over the country working with MTD, telling the story of manufacturers from around the USA. So you'll see me at a couple of shows for sure. But hey, pay attention to some content series. I've got some cool things baking up here soon in addition to the Industrial Marketing Summit. So the noise and volume always up to 11. Just stay tuned. I'll give it to you.
Awesome.
All right, guys, let's start. We'll wind down. So first off, hey, how about a huge round of applause for Eddie Saunders Jr. for just absolutely hitting the ball out of the park today. God bless you, brother. We appreciate you. I just want to give everybody a big shout out and thank you in the chat box today. Thank you, guys. We can't wait to see you in Austin at the Industrial Marketing Summit. Again, connect with Eddie. If you have any questions, you need some marketing strategies, Eddie's your guy. And what I love to say, boy, man, was this inspiring. go out there and just be someone's inspiration, just like this guy is on a daily, regular basis. Eddie, we applaud you. We salute you. We commend you. We thank you. God bless you. Damon, take it away, brother. What another great conversation here.
Oh, it was awesome being able to talk with Eddie today. And really, you can feel how he's going to help those clients of his, humanize their brand, get the message out, and really allow them to connect with their perfect customers or their perfect potential customers and really become friends, as you say, with your business, Eddie. I want to thank everyone that stopped by, Mark and Quincy, Sammy, and Amani, for stopping by today, and Diana. Sorry, I didn't want to miss Diana.
Did we see this comment? Did you see this comment here? I absolutely love it.
Yep.
Absolutely love it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was amazing.
Yeah. Ubuntu. Yep. So that's good.
Wonderful.
But thanks everyone for being here today. And thanks for showing up. Thanks for the people that commenting and listening. If you didn't hear this whole thing, go back to the beginning and rewind, because Eddie was dropping nuggets throughout the whole conversation we had here today. We will be back again next week with more guests on the manufacturing e-commerce success. Who do we have rolling out next time, Kurt?
Dude, we got Wesleyan on Monday, man. This is going to be fire with Wesleyan Whitaker. We're going to be jamming out about sales strategy. So we've got a really good one. We've got great folks coming up the whole month. We're going to be promoting the Industrial Marketing Summit every session. And so just we're just blessed with just so many great people. So can't wait. It's going to be very exciting.
All right. Well, everyone, we're going to cut off for now, but have an incredible weekend, and we will talk to you again next week.
Peace.